Hey guys, so one of the most common requests I happen to get from my clients is, I have a BOSU at home. What the heck do I do with it? Well, here's the thing. I love using the BOSU and incorporating it into workouts with clients as a means to challenge their balance, although I do realize that many people are uncomfortable with some of the exercises because they just don't trust their balance. So one thing that I would recommend is if you are using a BOSU at home and you're standing on it, position yourself close to a wall so that it gives you that element, that added element of security. And then when you feel like you're able to, you can simply just let your hands go. All right, so we're gonna do 4 basic exercises, really quick 10-minute workout. I'm gonna begin, again, just by putting one foot in the center of my BOSU. Now, I've got my wall at my left-hand side, so if I start with my left leg up, that might feel comfortable. Alternatively, you can just work contralaterally. For some people, that actually feels more comfortable. Do what feels best to you, right? There's no rules here. The first thing I would say that when you go ahead and do a lunge on a BOSU is that as you lower down, make sure that your foot is firmly centered on that BOSU. So there's a little circle on the top. You can see where that circle is. I want you to put the arch of your foot right on top of that circle. And then from here, I'm going to drop into my basic rear lunge. And as you can see right now, I'm holding onto the wall. But at a certain point, you might find that you don't really need that. So your next progression is to lunge back, stand up, and tap your foot. So in other words, as I step my left foot back, I come back to my BOSU, I'm just tapping my foot down. Again, this exercise can be tricky for some because a lot of times people will want to lean back from the lunge. Try to keep your weight forward. In other words, knee stacked over ankle, and that should set you right up. 3, and 2, and 1. Awesome. Go to the other side. So again, I'm not going to change direction, you get the idea. You put one hand on the wall, in a doorway, whatever works. And you go and do lunges. So I think I did 15 last time. So I want to show you on this side. You want to challenge your balance a little bit more. Instead of tapping your feet side by side, just simply bring that knee up to about waist height. You can see it, I might get a little bit wobbly there. I'm taking my time, woo, challenging myself. Just bring that knee right up to about waist height. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. All right, so there's your basic rear lunge. Second exercise we're going to do today is a squat. And again, squats are another one where people get a little bit apprehensive. Put yourself facing into a wall, okay, if you need the wall, or alongside of it. I'm gonna go for it. I'm feeling pretty good. All right, so how the heck do you get up on this thing safely? One thing that I'll notice a lot is this sort of John Wayne bow-legged thing. Don't go there. Take your feet so that they're just slightly narrow, okay? So for most of us, that's hips distance. When we refer to hips distance, we're not referring to the curves of your hips, we're more referring to hip sockets, knee joint, and ankle joint, yeah? So from here, I'm gonna go right into my squat. Right now, as I do this, again, you can see that my knees track right over my ankles. They're not bowing to the sides. Get a little adventurous, maybe go a little lower. Nice and steady. And again, you're probably gonna wanna find that balance in your feet. So you're not just pressing through your heels and not just through your toes, but sort of all 4 corners of your feet is how I like to think about it. 5, and 4, 3, stand all the way up, and 2, and 1. Excellent. All right, so next exercise is what I call over the top. So basically what it is a squat where you're just going over the top. So one leg, one foot centered on the BOSU, the other foot on the ground. I'm gonna go into a squat, and then I'm gonna power out of that squat to switch sides. One thing that is gonna work in your favor is if you can really get some good energy going with your core and your arms, it's gonna help propel you to the other side. So lower down, fire up and switch. Fire up and switch. Notice when I do this, my BOSU foot lands dead center on that BOSU, right? It's not on the side, it's on the center. I want to get my hips as low as possible. You're gonna hear me start to breathe a little heavier. 10, 9. You can pace up the speed. Notice me picking up speed here. 5, 4. If you feel confident, go for it. 3, 2, and 1. Oh, that'll do it. All right. So far, just lower body, and we're gonna stick with that. So the last one we're gonna do, again, does not require any balance. We're gonna lie down on the ground for your basic bridge. Now, I love bridges. I do them in almost every workout that I do personally because they're great for your posterior chain, hamstrings, glutes, low back, and core. So I don't see why we should skip them now. So when I come down to the ground, I'm gonna bend my knees to about 90 degrees. I'm gonna keep my feet neutral. What do I mean by that? I'm not pointing my toes, but I'm not overly flexing my feet either. If you feel that this goes into your calves, try to relax your feet or pull your toes towards your shins just a little more. But from here, on my inhale, I'm gonna lift my hips up and then lower back down. Do make sure that you keep that neutral spine. Again, that's not tucked under and it's not back bending. It's right in the middle. You wanna put your hands on your hips, create a little resistance, you can. Just take your time, up and down. If you were to take your hands away from the ground, it's gonna be more challenging because you can't cheat. Not that you would cheat, but you can't cheat. It's all you, baby. 5 more. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. All right, so there you have it. 4 lower body exercises that you can do on the BOSU that are gonna be great to incorporate into your program. If you feel confident with those, feel free to add resistance. You can add a medicine ball, you can add light weights, you can even add bands. So stay tuned for part 2. I'm gonna show you some new other exercises that you can do that you can add onto your BOSU program with or without weight.